guys, Ruby here. So I have been missing in action for a while and I apologize, but I've been busy and so I wanted to come on here and talk to you guys a little bit about these rates out here. Oh my goodness, these rates are something else, let me tell you. So my husband's like, you haven't made a video, you need to do a video. And I was like, I know I need to, but you know what? Sometimes I just get up, get to the load board, have my coffee and I get right into it. And I don't even think about, doing videos at that time. And so my routine now is completely different from when I was working a full-time job, honestly. And I actually miss those days where, I just get up and get dolled up and go to work and come home and then leave the problems of work at work. And I'm free of whatever I have pending at work. So I don't bring that at home, but I work from home. So how do you separate yourself from it? Last night I was working on my filing of my IFTA. And my husband's like, just save that for tomorrow. And I was like, no, I have to get it done so I can go ahead and file it. And there was some, discrepancies in my IFTA. My miles weren't matching and I thought they were. And I thought it was good. And so it was just one issue after another, but I got it straightened out and I got it filed and we are good to go till next quarter. So that is actually getting easier and easier as you do them. You kind of figure out a rhythm, a way of the way you're wanting to file your IFTA, your reports, and what you're needing, what you don't need. So anyways, I've been busy. And so for that, I am sorry that I have not been on here sharing with you guys my knowledge as I'm learning in this business. So I am here to share with you guys. Rates are for shit. And they are. Some spots where when we first started, it was like a hot spot and now it's just like a ghost town, complete ghost town. And the rates are just doo-doo. And so they are, 1 minute they're good, next minute they're not. And so anyways, I have an email coming in. Nope. Okay. So today was a complete, utter shit show. Let me just tell you. I was having not pleasant conversations today with brokers, and that's not how I like my Friday to go down. Friday is supposed to be easy peasy, lemon breezy, and let me just tell you, there was nothing lemony about my Friday today. And so I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So my husband is delivering, or he delivered a load in Virginia, and so then I'm trying to find him a load out of Virginia. And Virginia, we haven't actually hauled any loads out of Virginia, so I'm now noticing that loads out of Virginia are like less than $1 for hot shot, less than $2 for hot shot. And I'm like, what is wrong with this picture? And so, I'm just like a hawk on the load board because I have the time to find good loads, and, and I just feel like I can't waste too much time, but I do, because I have other stuff that's pending and I don't want to have to work on office work after 6 o'clock after I get off the load board, because then I am completely swamped. But I have the load board, plus I have other work pending, like, for my, my books for the business, like the filing of the IFTA. There's a lot of bookkeeping that I have to still do for the business to make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. So it gets busy, and my time is very precious, and I have to be very selective on my time. And it is just one driver, but there's still office stuff that needs to get done still yet, plus I'm a mom and, I have my kids. And so, but anyways, so I'm trying to find my husband, a load out of Virginia. And there was this load yesterday that I was looking at. It was going to California. And we don't mind going to California because, hey, I'm a Cali girl, born and raised. I love California. It is what it is out there. But we don't mind going to California, because what my husband usually does is he'll fill up wherever it's cheaper prior to going into California. And then he likes to be in and out. He doesn't like staying the night in LA or anything like that. Certain areas, Central Valley, that's fine because I have my family in Central Valley. He's got his family in Central Valley. So, but like in the LA area, it's just in and out, and so we don't mind going to California, except for the fact that the fuel is outrageously expensive, but you're starting to find that everywhere. So it's not just, California. California is probably one of the worst ones. But yeah, so anyways, so there was this load going into California from Virginia. It was 2,742 miles. And I called the brokerage. We've hauled several loads with this brokerage. It's a really big company and they've always paid us really well. And for this one load, they were not wanting to pay more than $2. It was just insulting. And so it was there. I called yesterday. She refused to increase that rate. She was stubborn and she stayed where she was at. And I was just like, that is not right. That load, I don't care if, oh, it's just that lane pays that much. No, BS. You're wanting to pay that much. Because I've seen other loads going from Virginia all the way to Las Vegas paying double of what she was paying. But except for the fact they were needing a 48 foot, 48 foot, 20,000 pounds. Okay. But the fact that it was going from Virginia all the way to California to only pay $1.20 a mile, 40-foot trailer, and it was 11,000 pounds, 12,000 pounds. But the fact that it was a full trailer going all the way to California, wanting to pay $1.20. I recorded just the audio of it, so I want you guys to listen to it and tell me what you guys think, okay?
If you know the extension number of the person you are trying to reach, hello, Miss Shirley.
Hi, good morning. I'm calling about a load that you guys have picking up in Virginia going to Long Beach, California.
Yes, this one is still available. I need 40-foot hard shot. It's 10,600 pounds on the weight, and I need 8-foot drop tarp. Do you have 8-foot drop tarp?
We do have 8-foot drop tarp. Yep, and it's a full 40-foot trailer, you said?
Yes, 40-foot trailer.
So we're looking at around almost 11,000 pounds. Okay, what is your rate on this load?
I have 3,400 on this load.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
3,400.
3,400. Oh, okay. That one's going.
Yes, Ruby.
That one's going 2,707 miles. Hello?
I was connected with the Cherry Blaster.
Hi, I'm sorry, you disconnected the call on me?
Yeah, no, I lost connection. Calling you back. Tried to call you about this. You called me about my Virginia to California load.
Yeah, yep. So you mentioned 3,400 on this load?
Yes.
Okay, are we able to negotiate on that price? Because that's only going to be like $1.20 for the mile from Virginia all the way across to California.
I know, but it's hot shot load, so that's what my shipper paying me for this one.
Yeah, but the hot
what
shot
kind
loads.
Of rate you looking for?
Yeah, but hot shot loads don't normally run that cheap for 40 foot, and then you're looking at 11,000 pounds from Virginia all the way to California. We can take this for you guys. I mean, to make your customer happy that you found somebody to fulfill this load instead of having it wait because of it's going to be hard to find somebody that's going to take it for that cheap freight. We definitely have a driver in that area that can take this load for you. But we can take it for 7,500, not the 3,400.
7,000? No, sorry. Sorry, Ruby, never happened this on this plane. I'm sorry. I don't have this money.
And why? I mean, but that's not, you're only paying $1.20 though. That's why your load's been sitting there.
Okay, but I'm not going to pay 7,000 on this one. I'm sorry, Ruby. I don't have this money.
I understand, but it's only, I mean, even asking that 7,000, that's only putting us at $2.20 a mile.
I'm not going to pay 7,000. Thank you for calling and have a great day. Bye.
Did you guys hear that? Like, how freaking insane was that? First, she hung up on me, and it's like she kind of remembered my name from yesterday because I was arguing with her in a nice way about she should be paying more per mile on that load. And I was stunned to see that it was still there. I'm not surprised that it was still there, but come on. She hung up on me. She knew exactly who I was. And we would have honestly taken that load had she had the right price for that load. And she was not budging. She was stubborn. Like, come on, you can't pay $1.20 for that. Like, why not take care of the customer? What are you going to tell your customer? Oh, I didn't move it because I couldn't find drivers. No, you didn't move it because you didn't want to freaking budge on the rate. You wanted to keep a big portion of that rate for yourself. Greedy. Oh, because it's hot shot. Don't give me that bull crap that it's hot shot. Do you know how much our 5500 Dodge truck is worth and how much our trailer is worth? Our equipment setup is pretty damn nice. Don't tell me, oh, because it's a hot shot. And my husband wants me to be aggressive like that with it, but I can't because I'm trying to build relationships with these brokers. Not everyone we're going to be in agreement with. Not everyone we're going to get along with. You know, you can just kind of get that vibe when you speak to them over the phone. But I'm very pleasant. I'm very professional. Except for this afternoon, because there was another broker that he tested me. But anyways, going back to this one, she did not want to budge. And I called her back like, you know, I don't know if in California, there's this one radio show and, you know, Carmen was her name. She was a drag and she used to make all these prank calls and they would hang up on you and she would call back. I'm sorry, were we disconnected? Did you disconnect me? You know, I was kind of like that. Like, did you hang up on me? And she's like, no, I was going to call you back. Yeah, of course you were. She wasn't. I know she wasn't. She was just trying to get rid of me. So then I called her back again because I'm just like, lady, you can't be paying $1.20. And for a second there, I thought she hung up on me again. So I'm like, do I still talk or did she hang up on me? Because if you guys kind of picked up, I kind of paused a little bit, but because I thought she hung up on me again. And so that's what I'm telling her, like, what are you going to tell your customer? You couldn't move it, you know? And so it's just insane that they're wanting to pay that $1.20 to go all the way across the states to deliver a load. And you're going to keep what? Another load from Virginia to Las Vegas. Like I said, they were paying $6,500, $7,000 and $6,500. So let's just say $6,500 to Las Vegas, which I think that's about right. It's still less miles than going into California where it was going to go. And she didn't want to budge. And, you know, it wasn't 220. It was like 270. I was trying to, you know, go towards $3 a mile because you're going all the way across the state. You better make it worth my time to go all the way over there. Do you know how much miles you're putting into that vehicle? Come on, you can't be paying no damn $1.20, and it's not on the low board. And I hope nobody took that load because that you are just ruining the industry in taking loads at that rate. $1.20, that is just like you are not going to last in business. You're not. There's just no way that you can last in business. Let me see if that load is still there. Because it was there since yesterday, and let me see, it's not there. So I'm going to assume somebody took it because it's not there. And it's a big brokerage. That's what I'm just like, I don't get, like, why are you there? You don't belong to that brokerage. You are giving them a bad name, a bad reputation, because you are really trying to scam these drivers by trying to pay them $1.20 a mile. That is not a partial, woman. Like, I really wanted to go off on her, but I was really trying to hold it together so she wouldn't hang up on me so I can go ahead and give her my spiel. But I was just so upset. But anyways, she refused. But I kind of wanted to tell her, you can't pay that rate. That's why your load is still sitting there from yesterday, all day yesterday. And when I called her last night, she sounded completely drained. Like, drained. She had a shitty day yesterday. I know she did because it sounded in her voice. Poor lady. Like, she sounded drained. And it's just like, you have to meet these drivers halfway. And she wasn't even trying to do that. It's insane. We had a load that was wanting to pick up in Iowa, and it was going towards, this was a load prior to going into Virginia. and it was going into, I don't even know what state, because I make so many phone calls and there's so many loads that I'm always constantly trying to get more money out of them. But anyways, they weren't advertising. It just said a hot shell load, and it was like, I don't know, 6,000 pounds, I'm gonna say. They didn't have the feet, they didn't have the width or anything, and so it was email them. So I did. I'm like, is this load still available? Yes, it is. Okay, what are the dimensions? Oh, it's, you know, whatever was on the load board. Okay, what is the weight and the width and the height of this load? Oh, she said it's 8.11 wide. Okay. And I'm like, oh, so then it's an oversized load. I go, so you have to pay more than, it was like $2.02 is what they were trying to pay. I go, you have to pay more than $2.02 for an oversized load. She said, oh, well, it's just only over by like, you know, so many inches. DOT officer don't care. DOT officer will still cite you, put you on a violation, and put you out of service until you get those permits corrected. And she's just like, well, it's only, she goes, that's what we pay moving on those loads. I go, well, shame on those people moving those loads. And I told her, you can keep your money because we're not moving it at that rate. And so she tried to give me an extra $100. I was like, no. Do you know what it's going to cost for the permits? Because it was like, I think it was going into California, I want to say. No, Nevada. I go, we're going to be crossing 5 state lines, and permits are going to be anywhere from maybe about $200 to $300. Plus, it's on a dedicated lane because you cannot go outside of that route. If you go outside of that route, you better get another permit to pick up another partial. If that's what you're wanting to do, you better have another permit just to go outside of that route to pick up a partial. Now, is it even worth it? You're pretty much going to have to handle those oversized loads like a dedicated lane, because if not, you're going to have to get another permit just to go pick up another partial, because now you're going outside of that route with that oversized load. And you have to be careful. Some states only require if it's, you know, over 11 feet. Every state's different. So you have to figure out, do you need an escort? I usually call when it's like over 11. Do I need an escort? Which roads can I take? You know, and you have to be very careful because some of these roads you just cannot take on an oversized load. And then you can only drive, some states you can only drive till like half an hour till sunset and half an hour before sunrise. So you have to be very careful on these. In some states like Arizona, you must stop at all scales with an oversized load. It's just stuff that you have to know. And there's a lot of stuff that we're learning as well as we're going. And I told this lady, you have to be paid more than $2 a mile. She goes, that's what we normally pay. I was like, we do not haul an oversized load at that rate. You can keep your oversized load. We are not going to move it. And she's like, okay, that's fine. Just so she knows, because she was really trying to get over somebody, be like, oh, it's only half a feet longer. Yeah, half a feet that a DOT officer will definitely pull you over and give you a violation for that. So that was just one of those loads that, you know, you have to be very careful, because if not, these brokers will really try to pull one over you if you don't know your information, especially on these oversized loads. You have to be very careful on taking these loads. And when you get these permits, if they say it's, you know, 8.11, you might as well, you know, go that extra mile. Over it's like 11.2, do 11.6, because if you get there and it's a little bit longer than what they told you, you're now going to have to get new permits, and you're going to have to repay for new permits. And the ones you had, they're useless, and that money's coming out of your pocket unless you fight the broker for it. And we had that one case happen to us. The load was longer than what she said, and we had to get another set of permits, and the broker had to compensate us because I fought her to do that. And they were trying to say it was the driver's fault. No. It was your guys' fault because you guys didn't have the correct measurements on this load. So we went off of what you told us, but we should have gotten a permit with at least 5 inches wider just to play it on the safe side. But now going forward, when we do an oversized load, we will make sure that our permit is at least a good few inches more, just in case that load is a little bit wider, and we don't have to go through the hassle of getting another set of permits and then disregarding the first one. So we had, because that's a second set of permits that you're going to have to pay for. And I know in California, it's a little bit of a delay to get the permits. I don't know how backed up they are now, but at that time they were delayed at least by a day or two. And luckily for us, the one that we were needing going into California, we got it right away. So that's something you guys want to make sure you guys are very careful for. I have another scenario that I wanted to share with you guys, something that happened to me today. And this is another scenario that you guys have to be very careful when reviewing your guys' documents, your guys' raycons from these brokers. If you're not paying attention to detail on these agreements, you could potentially put yourself in a bad situation. And lucky for me, I actually reviewed it prior to signing it. And if I would have, because we were in a rush, and if I would have just signed it thinking, hey, the broker knows what he's doing, he's giving us what he said he was going to give us, I would have put myself in a very bad situation on this Raycon had I not reviewed it prior to signing it. So this is going to be the last scenario that I'm going to share with you guys today. And I'm going to share it with you guys so you guys can understand how important it is to review your documents prior to signing them. Don't get in the habit of just, you're getting the agreement and everything looks repetitive. Every time you get a carrier agreement, you just sign it, send it back because you want to lock in that load right away. When you get the carrier agreement, take your time and make sure you are reviewing in detail your carrier agreement. Make sure it is what you guys had agreed on over the phone and what it states on the load board, if that's where you found your load. Because I had a scenario today, and I have not had a conversation like this with a broker ever. And because I stood my ground, this broker assumed that he was going to punk me around, and because he thought, oh, she's just a female, you know, I'm going to speak very firm and aggressive with her and she's going to do what I say. No. That's not, no. That's, you got the wrong person. That's not going to happen. So when I saw this load on the load board, it was, and I have the information here, it was 14 feet, 6,000 pounds, 6 feet tall, 8 feet wide, paying $3,000. Okay. I got rid of his information so you can see. Let me just zoom it in. Okay. These are the details of the load. Okay. Paying $3,000. I called him on it because it's a partial. I was like, score, we got a partial, paying decent, you know, leaving Virginia, going into Nebraska, 14 feet, 16,000 pounds. That gives me 25 feet. And, you know, if I want to do 14,000 pounds of another partial that I can find less than that. And so I was like, well, we're going to make pretty good money finding me another partial, right? So once my husband dropped off his load, the broker of this load said he has to be there by 2. And I was like, oh, no, he's not going to make it there by 2 because I calculated his hour. I was like, no, he's not going to be there by 2. What's the latest he can pick up? He's like, well, 2. I was like, he goes, what time can he be there? Let's just start there. I was like, about 3. And he's like, okay, I'll make sure they stay there till 3. Okay. And so my husband got to his drop-off location. It was a nuclear plant in Virginia. You know, he had to go through all the security to make sure he, Chapo. No, not right now, Chapo, my dog. And so, so by the time he unloaded and got out of there, he had literally an hour. So I called the broker. I was like, all right, my driver's done, but I haven't received the Raycon from you, you know, and we had spoken already a few times and I still haven't got my Raycon. Do you want us to still take this load? He can head out there now. It was like, you know, 30 minutes away, 30 miles away. And he's like, yeah, I'm on my way home now. Give me a few minutes, blah, 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 whatever it was. And so he was just in a rush. Every time we spoke, it was just rush, go. And I'm like, you're making me feel rushed, you know? And so by the time I actually spoke to him, he's like, I'm going to send it to you right now. And he was in a rush. I was like, okay, well, what I'm going to do, and I don't normally do this for this simple fact that we don't have a Raycon. I told my husband, you only have an hour before they close, because he said now he can be there at 4. I was like, first it was 2, now it's 4. Oh, I get it. Okay. And so I told my husband, you have to be there by 4. It was already going to be 3. So you have like about a good 45 minutes, 30 to 45 to get there so they can load you. And the broker was okay with that. And so I told my husband, just start driving in that direction. By the time I get the Raycon, I'll give you the updated address. But just so we're not wasting time, so you can be there before 4, I shouldn't have done that until I got the Raycon. And I should have pressured the broker and said, hey, well, I have my driver standing down. The moment that you give us this Raycon for me to sign, I'll have him hustle. But the longer you take, the longer it's going to take him to get out there. So if you move quick, and give me that Raycon, I can get my driver out on the road because he won't move until he gets his Raycon. That's what I should have said. But going forward, I won't do that again. Next time, nope. Hurry up and send me that Raycon. The faster you move, the faster I get my driver out on that road. And so, but anyways, by the time he's there, the broker sends me my Raycon. Let me show you the Raycon. Okay. I took off information pertaining to the brokerage because I don't want to put them on blast. By the time we get there, or by the time he sends me the Raycon, now it's stating he wants 40 feet of my trailer and 8,000 pounds. I told him, and he was on the phone when he sent it, and I told him, no. Hold on, let me get my dog. So then I told the broker, as he was on the phone and he sent it to me. And I was like, no, we are not moving this because it's saying you're needing 40 feet of my trailer and now it's 8,000 pounds. Our agreement was 14 feet of my trailer and only 6,000 pounds. This is what you had advertised, not 40 foot. He goes, well, you said you had a 40-foot trailer. I do have a 40-foot. I am not going to give you 40 foot of my trailer unless you pay me more for it. Just because I have a 40-foot doesn't mean I'm going to give it all, the entire 40-foot to you. You were only asking for 14 feet, 6,000 pounds. Now you want 40 feet and 8,000 pounds? We can do that, but you're going to have to pay me at least $3,600. He's like, I'm not paying you $3,600. We're not moving it for no $3,000 then. Simple as that. And so he was very loud spoken and very aggressive the way he speaks. And it was just like the funniest thing afterwards. During the conversation, we were just like going back and forth. Well, this is what we agreed on. No, that must have been a miscommunication and blah, blah, blah. He goes, we can disagree to agree or agree to disagree. And I'm like, yes, I understand that. But we are not moving. We are not giving you our full 40-foot trailer. My dog just hates the UPS guys. Anytime they pass by, he just goes ballistic. And so, and I told the broker, we are not going to give you 40 feet of our trailer at that rate. Had I known you were wanting 40 foot of our trailer, I would not have accepted it at that rate. You need to pay us more. And so he's just like, well, I'm not paying you more. I was like, okay, then that's fine. He goes, we can cancel the load then. I was like, that's fine. We can cancel the load then because we did not agree on that. You had it for 14 feet, 6,000 pounds. He's like, well, it was a mistake on my part. I reposted it 30 minutes later. Not my problem. When I spoke to you, it was 14 feet, 6,000 pounds. Later when we spoke, he's just like, oh, so you have a 40-foot hotshot? I was like, yes, we do. He's like, oh, okay. And I'm like, didn't think nothing of it, but I just kind of let it be because, it just kind of seemed like his mind was turning like maybe, and I kind of assumed maybe he was wanting more from it, but no, 14 feet is all you're getting because that's what we agreed on. So when he sent the Raycon to me, like I said, it was 40 feet, 8,000 pounds. We were kind of just bickering back and forth. I'm like, I'm not giving it to you for that rate. I was like, well, I'm not taking it for that rate then. Had I not read my agreement and just signed it and sent it off, I would have put myself in a bad situation because I would have given him the full 40-foot trailer, 8,000 pounds for $3,000 had I not paid attention. But I did. This is why you have to be very thorough in your agreements. When they send you, the carrier, your Raycon, you have to make sure you're reading it. Make sure there's no additional stops. Make sure you have a phone number because what I like to do is when my driver's on his way, I'll call them and say, oh, my driver's on his way. He should be there within an hour. So there's no delay. So they're expecting him. The same for when he's dropping off. I like to give him that courtesy call. We have a driver heading in your direction. He's going to be arriving there and give him his ETA and they know to expect him. Not all places have a number and that's fine. But for the most part, maybe 80% of the time, that's what I do. And the shippers and receiver appreciate that extra phone call. So they know they're, to be expecting the driver to deliver or pick up a load. But this broker was being very aggressive, wanting to just force me to take this load. He was very loud spoken. And so at the end, I sent him an email and I said, I apologize that there was a miscommunication. But unfortunately at this time, we will not be able to take this load from you. We had verbally agreed per our conversation 14 feet, 6,000 pounds. But per your Raycon, it's now showing 40 feet and 8,000 pounds is what you're actually now needing. And we are not able to fulfill that load for you at that price. But we can do it for you for $3,600. Let me know. My driver's going to stand by for the next 30 minutes before I have him proceed on. He didn't respond back to me. And so, take your dog, please. And so he didn't respond back to me. So my husband went to the nearest gas station so he can park for the weekend. What inconvenience, right? And so it is what it is. Sometimes situations like that are going to rise. You know, I don't like it. I wasn't in the wrong. I didn't make a mistake. I told my husband, he was upset because I had him hustle to go pick up this load, and come to find out it's completely different now, because now that he knows we have a 40-foot hotshot, he wanted to use a full trailer, and that's not how it's going to go down. That's not how it's going to go down. And I texted him because he texted me, so is this a go or no go? I was like, no, it's not a go. You pay us more than we can go. We can pick it up. And I sent him his posting. This is what you had posted. 14 feet, 6,000 pounds. We can do it with those dimensions, not the full 40-foot trailer. And so then he calls me back again, you know, and he's like, Ruby, he goes, let's meet halfway. What are we going to do? And so it was kind of fun talking to him, because, you know, it's just like, you're not going to intimidate me. You're not. You are very firm and loud, but you're not going to intimidate me, and you're not going to punk me into taking this load for a rate less than what I want. And I was like, okay, what are we going to do to take care of the customer and to take care of my driver? Meet me where I'm at. He goes, I'm not paying you $3,600. I was like, I get that. I'm not going to move it for $3,000. What are we going to do? He goes, and I really want to build this relationship with you. You know, and he started talking about, you know, my personality. And I was like, we can, but I'm not moving that for that rate. What are we going to do? He goes, well, I can give you $3,300. That's still less than what I'm willing to take. I can take this back to my driver. He goes, but the thing is, we can't pick up Friday. We're gonna have to pick up Monday. I will let my driver know. Okay, we'll call him and let him know, and then call me back. Okay, I spoke to my husband. At this point, he's like, your call, you decide. And I'm like, well, it's decent. It's not $3 a mile. But we're still going to get decent money from this. And then we're going to have built a relationship with the broker. So if ever we're in that area and we need a load, you know, it's, his brokerage is pretty big. You know, I seen it. And so it's like, well, you know, I don't want to burn bridges before I even establish a relationship. We don't want to do that. Right. And so I said, okay, fine. I'm going to go ahead and take it, but I'm going to ask for $3,400. I was like, well, my driver says we can do it, but for $3,400, and have coffee and donuts for him waiting when he gets there. And he's like, well, I can do it for $3,400, but he gets his own coffee. Deal. So he's just like, you know, and I told him, we were just kind of talking. He goes, you know, I'm not like that. And I'm like, and I told him in Spanish, because he's from Spain, but he grew up in Jersey, he said. And so he's around Colombians, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans. So he doesn't speak, you know, he's from Spain. And so, because he's got a little bit of a different accent, so it kind of throws you off. It threw me off. And I'm like, where are you from? What's your nationality? He goes, I'm from, you know, Spain. I'm like, but your accent? He goes, oh, because I'm, you know, I grew up here in Jersey. It's rough out here in the streets and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look, Tony, because he was already talking to me in Spanish earlier. I was like, look, la próxima vez que usted me habla, más vale que me hable más suavecito. You know, don't take that tone with me next time you speak to me. And he's like, oh, Ruby, I meant no disrespect. That's just how I am. You know, I'm very firm and, you know, and outspoken when I speak. I was like, that's okay. I have tough skin. You know, my husband speaks the same way. So I can understand that, you know, and I was just kind of playing with him as well, like just, you know, BSing with him. But I'm like, you know, that tone, you need to bring it down a little bit. Bring it down a little bit, because next time we talk, I don't want to hear the same tone next time we talk. And during the whole time that me and him were going back and forth, my son Victor, my 13-year-old, was just laughing. And he was just like, Mom, I can't believe you told him that. I was like, because you know who you can BS with and you know who you can't. And he knew that he was really trying to test me, And he tested me, but he saw like, well, I can't get this woman to budge. No, you cannot. And so, and then my oldest son was here, my 25-year-old, and then he calls me back. He's like, Ruby, I just sent you over that rate call. Make sure it's good for you. And I opened it up. I was like, okay, permítame un momento, Tony. Let me look at it. And I looked at it, 3,400. I go, good. That works, Tony. He goes, and then, I kind of was just playing with him, and he's just like, see, he goes, he goes, just to end this conversation, he goes, don't ever change the way you are. And I'm like, my son, we were just laughing, about this whole conversation. My 13-year-old was laughing. My oldest son was laughing. It's just, they're going to really try to take advantage of you if you let them. And I feel like I still could have got more money out of it, but we still got decent money. Plus I made a relationship with a broker, and that's what you're trying to do in this business. You're trying to establish relationships, and you're trying to get to a mute point between you and broker. So the driver makes good, the customer's taken care of, everybody's taken care of. And you know what? All is good at the end of the day. It was really a shit show for a minute there, but me and this broker, we came to terms. We worked together as a team. We kind of, negotiated on the rates. We were going back and forth. This was like one of the high stress negotiations that I was under in all of the rates that I've negotiated. This is probably one that I'm going to put down in the books, and he's always going to remember me. Because he's gonna be like, damn, she is a tough cookie. I could not get her to budge. And no, he could not. I was just upset that I had my husband drive there, which is like 20-30 minutes, and then it went from 14 feet to 40 feet. That one was like, I'm done. You're not doing that to me again. And so, but stand your ground, be firm when you're negotiating, always be professional. And, when you're addressing these brokers, because you're in this business to establish relationships at the end of the day. And that's what we want to do. Not all brokers are bad ones. Not all brokers are good ones. You just kind of pick and choose, like that one that's wanting to pay $1.20. That's an insult, but there's a lot of people who move at that rate, and they just ruin this industry for everybody else. And you should not be moving that, because you're going to have to take into account how much is it going to cost you in fuel from Virginia all the way to California. I mean, come on, do the math. Truck Stop gives you an estimate of how much it's going to be in diesel. Come on, people, like let's work together. Let's bring this industry back to where it should be at. And I believe maybe, hopefully, God willing, one day we will get there, but it's going to take effort of everybody to put in their effort and get us back to where we need to be. The rates are kind of hit and miss, there's some good ones, there's some bad ones, and you kind of take it with a grain of salt, but at the end of the day, it was stressful, and I might go have me some adult happy juice by the time I'm done recording this video, because it was a very stressful day. Not how I like to end my Fridays. So I'm going to enjoy my weekend with my kids. It's Halloween. Fuck it, I might have some candy, because you know what? I deserve it. But this is it, you guys. Stay strong out there. Stay safe out there. God bless you guys. If you guys are wanting to start this business, right now might not be the best time, especially going into, the holidays, the winter season. Do your due diligence and study the business. Get the the Truck Stop app, study the rates, study the markets, what pays good, what doesn't. One week it pays good in one area, and next week, by the time you know it, they're paying crappy, so it changes, it fluctuates. So study the business, take a course, do your due diligence. I'm still taking training courses. I'm going to be getting a mentor. That's what I want to do. And I'm going to be doing that. It's just I kind of been postponing it, but I will be doing that, because I want to dominate my skills in this business. I want to be able to go on the load board and book my husband a load within 5 minutes. God willing that I can do that. Some days I could, and some days I can't, depending on the area. Some areas are good and some are not. But stay strong out there, you guys. Stand your ground to these brokers who are just trying to rip you guys off on these rates. It's just, you can do it, and there's money in there. He went from 3,000 to 3,400 when he said he couldn't even budge at 3,000. But at the end of the day, we met halfway, and I built a relationship with a broker, and he's always going to remember me, and I'm going to remember him. So if ever I need, help or load from a broker, I know he's going to be there, because I can tell from our conversation that he really took a liking to my personality. And I can fluctuate my personality with different people, you know. I can kind of cone your relationship, your personality, and I can adapt to that, you know. I took a lot of customer service classes, and I was really good at it, and I do have that customer service skill, and so I am able to modify myself per the perception, per the voice, per, you know, what I'm getting from that person. So I can adapt, you know. You seen how I was very soft-spoken to this lady earlier. I was, you know, wasn't firm with her, but with this guy, I had to go from here to here because I had to meet him at his level, you know. I mean, absolutely, I can't go up against the guy, but there's no way that you're going to try to belittle me and make me feel less because I'm a female and because you feel like, you know, you can do that. And it's not going to happen because I didn't budge. You know, I didn't let him punk me at the end of the day. I didn't allow him to give me a load that I knew was not going to benefit us, you know. So, but at the end of the day, we met halfway, we worked together, and I built a relationship with a customer, with a broker. So this is my spiel for this Friday. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe out there. God bless you guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. But please be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with anybody who's wanting to start this business. You know, there's some good information in this video. But other than that, Ruby is out for the week. She's done for the week. I'm going to go enjoy my weekend. I'm going to spend some time with my kids. I'm just going to go on the couch and maybe drink a little bit of apple juice. No. But anyways, you guys stay safe out there. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.